examples of dialogue from the first episode and also from episode 39. So you see mild-mannered, Japanese student, and then by the end of the page, maniacal laughter and insanity. And so when you see the story arc of your character that you're, trying out for, kind of laid out for you in one page, it makes you really excited to try and get that project. And so when I booked the role of Light, I was very happy. And seeing the response and exactly what you guys are saying, how this is a show that seems to kind of have a resurgence over and over again with these like various streaming devices and whatnot, very cool. And it couldn't happen to a better show, so awesome.
This is a wild experience for us, but I didn't know much about this series. My experience previous to doing Death Note was of course Dragon Ball Z with Vegeta, which is very supernatural, fighting, screaming, and then this project came along and I wasn't sent any material to read for Ryuk. I was sent Light's dad, a couple of the other police officers, some random characters, and I was looking at them going, oh, cool, this is an anime that's just looks like normal people. They're not superheroes or Saiyans, so it looked like I get to just kind of act and be regular. But I showed up at Ocean Studios, and that was the first time we were allowed to see the pictures. We were just given a character description. They don't send the pictures out, so you don't disseminate them online. And I showed up and the pictures were all up on the wall at Ocean Studios. So there's regular guy, regular guy, regular guy, regular guy. Oh, there's the cop that I might read. There's the other cop, that's what he looked like. Oh, they look kind of similar. And then I'm like, oh, who is that guy? And the first thing I thought was, as every actor does, how come I don't get to read for him? What? So I took my characters in, and then Carl, who directed the show, phenomenal anime director and director overall, voice director, I asked him, I said, Carl, I saw this creepy demon guy out there. Can I read that as well while I'm here? And he said, sure, let's give you the sides, take a couple minutes to look at him. And he let me have a quick listen to the Japanese performer, and that was the one I wanted right away, and I forgot about the rest. And when I heard the Japanese laugh, that sort of sound right away, it gave me an idea of something to do, and all of a sudden, and that was when I got it. I didn't get anybody else on the show, just that guy.
I had the exact same experience, but it was the Misa character that I saw the picture of.
Yeah, they said no. How come
They said no. Yeah. I was like, they're like, no. All right, I guess I'll read for Light then.
I love it, man, I love it. About when in the process did you guys realize that you were a part of something so special within the anime world? Or maybe not even just anime, because the story itself is it's so interesting, it's so compelling, suspenseful, it's mysterious, it draws you in. There's so many moments where I was taken aback, where I was like, no, Light, don't make that mistake, I could see it coming, and the three of you, amongst everyone else involved, you guys played your parts so perfectly. Am I right, you guys? You know what I mean? You guys contributed such an amazing experience for the audience and for the viewers. At what point in making this all come together did you realize that you definitely had something special?
Never.
Just now, when you said it.
We don't. I try to never think that about any show, because there's shows I love, and I think this show is gonna kill it. It's hilarious, no matter what it is. It's some new anime, and you do, or a prelay show. You do one season. Oh man, this is gonna get 10 seasons. One season, and it's gone. That was the funniest thing I ever worked on. It was so fun, and now I just go, you know what? I go in, give it my best, and whatever it is. If it gets a second season, great. If it moves on, if it gets a following, great. And I feel like I'm a terrible, my judgment's awful, because I never would have actually done this show and thought, this is gonna be massive. I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was gonna be huge.
I remember, thinking, oh, I would be into this show, watching it, and my memory may differ from you guys, it was so long ago, but I do remember kind of only discovering the show as we were recording it. I would get an episode or two before we recorded to watch, but only the day or two before, or maybe I'm just a lazy actor and was only doing it the day before, but anyway, I was discovering it in real time, and all of the twists and turns and surprises and unexpected things, and the particularness and eccentricity of L as it is revealed in the show. I was delighting in that, the day before as I discovered it, and then going into the studio to record it, and it was usually just those first instincts that having, just sort of seen it, that were coming out in the record. But in terms of there was no way that you could have known that it was special.
Right.
I just knew that, wow, this is cool. I would watch this. This
Yeah.
is fun.
This is working. This is working.
As-
Some shape, way.
As actors and as people, in some ways, we are superstitious with certain things.
Yeah.
So this show, we were working on it, and I think I did get invited to a convention kind of partway through when we were recording the show. And I sat down at a table, and people were bringing things for me to autograph. And I was used to autographing Dragon Ball Z or Gundam or things like that, or X-Men stuff or whatever. And then somebody threw a Death Note in front of me. And I was like, that's amazing. Ooh, uh-oh. Because we hadn't finished the record, I'm like, if I sign this book, and then there's some horrible accident, and then there's a big story on the internet about how the actor, one of the characters, couldn't make it, I'm like, I get no. So I had a little panic attack. And then I signed a dummy name. I signed like a very long version of my name and then crossed out some letters so that I was kinda there, but kinda not. Like I was going on technicalities.
Bradley
You killed
Swaile.
Prince.
Yeah. Well, it's stupid, but I wrote Braggadocio Swaile. And then crossed out a bunch of letters that I'm like, well, the Brad's there. And then I did that until we finished our last day of recording on the show. And then the next time
Meanwhile, poor Braggadocio Swaile in Italy dropped dead 40 minutes later.
I gotta ask, on the topic of roles,